Hello, in this video we will learn how to input values in C++. Like, let's say that I want to print my name is John, and I want to print hello John, how are you? I type John and then I press enter, and I want the computer to operate that name and then do something with the name and print something using my name. Or let's say that I want to just simply calculate 7 plus 8, and I want the computer to calculate that, and then I want the computer to print the result. I type 7, I type 8 and then press enter, and then the computer returns 15. That's what it is. There are two main ways to process the user input. One is cin and another one is getline. Cin can be used if you have one value, like integer, one word, or float, for example. Getline is for a sentence. So if you have more than one word, then getline is the way to do it. But if you have like one word, like first name, then cin can do that. But getline can take multiple words or sentence. Let's go and learn how to do this. Here's my first example. We are first asking what is your name, and then we will create a name variable to receive that name. And this here is the cin, and as you can see, it's greater characters here. So this is opposite to this one. So the syntax is a little bit different. So cin, and then this one, and then you put the variable where you want the value to come. If the user types, for example, London and press enter, this name will receive that London, and then it goes on the next line, and then we can print the London. We can use that variable, whatever value it has, whatever you typed. When the program comes on line 8, the program stops here, and the cursor on a black window starts blinking, and then the computer is waiting you to type something, and it's waiting until you press enter. When you press enter, after that this cin will place that value, whatever you type on the console window, it will try to place here. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens first. I will run this now. What is your first name? Let's say my name is John. So there we go. Hello, and then I type John, so it puts that John there. Nice to meet you. Obviously, if I type something else here, like Brian, we will get Brian. So this name will receive whatever value we type there. Now let's do next example. We can use many different types. This cin again is quite intelligent. It can process many different types. It can't process all kind of types, but it can process the basic types like string, int, float, double, and so on. In this example, we are asking age. If it's age, it's going to be an integer, a number. That's why int, and now the age will go there. When the program comes on the line 13, again the program stops here, stops on this line, and the cursor starts blinking. If I run this, type that John here, so there we go again. So now it stops at line 13, and the cursor is here waiting you to type something. And now I can type, let's say I'm 35. Do I sound like I'm 35? I hope everybody thinks that I'm 35. I'm just joking here. So okay, your age is 35, and now the program is now stopped at line 13. When I press enter, then it will process that H. But I didn't put any process in here, so nothing happened because I didn't put anything. Anyway, let's continue. My aim is here that I'm gonna ask many questions here. I'm gonna ask the name, and then I'm gonna ask different values like age, height, and so on, and then I will print the person's details. Let's ask 2 more things here. What is your body mass index? I think it's important to know. Body mass index will be a decimal number, and it will be like it doesn't need to be very accurate decimal number. Float can take 7 decimals, so that's more than enough here. Float and body mass index variable, and now whatever the user types, 7.8, that will go there, and then the program continues on the line 19. And here we are asking the height. Height is an integer, and then we will take it there, and then we can print the details of the person like this. Let's look what we have here. Okay, let's first run it. Actually, it's always good to see it's working. So let's say John, your age is 35, body mass index 7.9, pretty good. How tall are you? 176. Yeah, there you go. And now it prints the details of the person. Hello John, your details: age 35, BMI 7.9, and height 176. Good. Let's see one more time. So we're asking all the details here using the cin, and the cin will fill up the corresponding variable with the value typed from the console window, and then here we can use all these variable values, whatever the user typed. Hello name, and then print all of them here. Now let's look at the other one which was getline, which I already mentioned before. Getline. The problem with the cin is that it can't take multiple words separated by space. It can only take values if there is only one word, like hello. It can take hello. But it can't take hello there, because it will only take the first value and it will stop over there. That's why we can't take this sentence as it is like that. Let me actually prove that. What is your first name? Let's say I say John Brown. The program kind of loses everything. It totally messed up, isn't it? It didn't even continue. So we can talk about this issue in detail later on, but let's not focus on this issue now, because we want to just learn the basics at this moment. But as you can see, it all got messed up because it was waiting for only one word, and I typed something else, and now everything else gets messed up here because it's waiting for age next, right? And it took the surname actually for the age, so, and that doesn't work, isn't it? We can't put surname into age, so it all got messed up. Let's see the getline next. We will come to these things later on, so no problems. I can talk about all of these issues in detail later on. Let's now learn one by one these things. Let's use now the getline only. And the getline needs string header. Okie dokie. And this is the way to call that getline. We put getline, and then we put that cin, the same we are using here, and then here we are putting that where we want to store that sentence. Let's see if this works. So it's running only these 4 lines now. what is your full name? John Brown. And now it works nicely, no problems. I can say one thing here, a little bit advanced. It's just that if you are trying this at home, you don't get stuck badly here. If you are using cin and after cin you are using getline, just do this one here in between. Cin get, so we are removing the new line because the cin does not remove the new line, and if you call getline after cin, the getline will stop immediately because it thinks that there is a new line. So we will need to remove the new line like this, and then this will work. The other way you can fix this issue is that you can do this one before you call cin. So if you call this sentence at the top here, then you don't have any problem because cin can manage from there. But if you need to call getline after cin, that's the trick you can do. We can talk about this in detail another time, but just do this one here to remove the new line, and then you can call that with no problems. Let me just show quickly that it works, all of this. So John, what's your age? 44, body mass 6, how tall you are. Okay, and now it's asking the full name, the getline thing. Brian Brown, and there you go, Brian Brown. It all works. There's one more thing I want to show here. We just remove all of this for now. I'll show something else. Almost finished. I show a couple of more things here. So we can also ask the values from cin such that we take them in a row. What I mean is that if I type on a console window John, age is 45, space, body mass index 8.7, and then a height like that, cin is able to process the whole line, and then I press enter here. So cin is able to process these one by one. First it will read this one, and next time you call cin, it will read this one. It will stop at the space bar, and then next time you call cin, it will read this value, and because there is a space, it will stop there, and next time you call cin, it will read this value, and so on. So space will separate the values for cin. Let's see how this works. I will copy the example now. Here is the example. Here I'm doing all of them in a row. So I'm creating variable for each value we want to input: name, age, BMI, and height. The same way as we did here, but I'm just doing them together here, kind of. The same variables: name, age, BMI. I create the variables first. Then I'm asking the question that please enter your first name, age, BMI, and height separated by space. And now the cin will start processing that thing. I do it one more time here. So if I type John, space, age is 53, space, and then BMI 8.2, space, and then height 167. Let's see what happens. So the first cin, name, will take this value. So name becomes John. The space separates. So the next time we call cin, 54 goes to name variable. Space separates again. Next time we call cin, BMI gets this value, and there's a space. So cin is going to take next value from there, and we are calling cin here. So 167 7 goes to height. And let's run this program. And there we go. So the whole question is on the one line. I'm gonna type John space age 35 space 9.2 space 165. And there we go. It's able to process them on the one line. This is the last thing. I will show one more way to do this same thing. So let's remove this one. Actually, let me remove it totally, so it's not so confusing. We can also put the values on the one line like this. We can join them like this. So cin, first variable, second variable, third variable, and fourth variable separated with these two greater than characters. It's the same thing, just a little bit different syntax, but it's doing exactly the same thing. So cin is first taking the first value, putting it there. Then after the first space, it will take the value from there, place it to age, and so on. So that's an alternative way to do this one. This is alternative way to this one. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.